Hello again, whiskey friends. Hey, everybody. It's always exciting to get into a new batch of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. I know the reputation of these has gone down the last couple years, but even when it's kind of middling, it's still good whiskey. So it's a fun time reviewing it. So we're going to be going over the A125 batch here today. This is the latest batch of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, and it is coming in at 118.2 proof and 10 years, 7 months. So both of those stats are a little controversial. Some of the best Elijah Craig barrel proof batches are typically 130 proof or higher, which is what gives them a bit of that flavor punch that people adore so much. Also, it's getting younger and younger. Now we're getting down to 10 years, 7 months, just as we suspected was going to happen when they started putting the variable age rate on here. They used to be locked in at 12 years. Now we're getting down to 10 years. And of course, they spoiled us with the C923 with that 13-year age statement just to eventually take that rug out from under us here. So we are getting closer and closer to the 10-year mark, similar to the single barrels on the market. So what we're going to be doing today is going through the nose, the palate, into the finish. We'll then get into the final scores and the comparison to other ECBP batches to see how it ranks. So thanks for joining, everybody. Cheers. So on the nose, enjoy the nose quite a bit, to be honest with you here. The oak on here is very nice and inviting, and flavor-wise, getting a bit of chocolate, raspberry, vanilla, and the nuttiness that you'd expect from Heaven Hill. So it may not necessarily have the depth, but the flavors that are there are doing it for me. So enjoying that. Let's get into the palate. I really enjoy how flavorful it is up front. Getting some nice oak, some cinnamon, some brown sugar, a little bit of that vanilla as well. It does pack quite a bit of flavor up there, and it's nice, rich, and viscous. So thumbs up on the mouthfeel too. Now, as we transition to mid-palate though, takes the foot off the accelerator a little bit, comes off a bit flat to me. The main thing that I thought about was peanuts essentially sauteed in butter and then covered in cinnamon sugar. So it does have this nice sweetness to it, but does also come off a little lacking depth and a little bland. Now let's get into the finish. Cheers, everybody. Towards the finish, that vanilla begins to escalate a little bit, gives way to the oak. And what's nice is that the chocolate and raspberry do return on the finish that I also got on the nose. So at least it bookends with those nice flavors that I got on the nose. But in the end, I will say the nose is my favorite part of this. Off the first sip, I was actually somewhat disappointed with the finish, though I will say on subsequent sips, it did make a comeback and it does have a nice long finish once you let those oils build up. Just as an example, I am still tasting what I would describe as a chocolate raspberry bar right now, even after that description. So in the end, this one scored an 84 out of 100, which is a very good pour, but not necessarily something that I would hunt, though if it was on my shelf, I would certainly enjoy it. So for your hunting purposes, I wouldn't go out and definitely get this particular batch, but if you got one, especially at MSRP between $70 and $90, I don't think you'll be disappointed. So as mentioned off the top of this video, have reviewed nearly every single batch of ECBP dating back to the early pirate bottles, 23 batches in total right now. Now, this score of an 84 then does put it in the second half of those reviews, actually puts it around 12th or 13th place there. So keep that in mind as you go into this. Yeah, this batch does some nice things, particularly the nose, but all in all, it is a below average batch, which might be some of the things that other people kind of discuss. Now, compared to anything else on the shelf, yet again, a score of an 84 isn't bad, but for what this brand was and what this brand used to be, I think it continues to come off as disappointing, and it'll be interesting to see if Elijah Craig and Heaven Hill can turn this around and bring a batch of Elijah Craig that impresses in 2025. Thank you, everybody, for joining this whiskey review. If you've got any questions, let us know in the comments. And if you've tried this yourself, let us know your thoughts, and we'll catch you on the next one. Goodbye, everybody.